Okay, folks, I'm back. BKP here. I am trying to regroup from the last segment because, I got in trouble, right? So, Eclipse America, August 21st. I have my glasses. Do you have yours? If you would like a pair of Eclipse glasses, they are at the Chamber of Commerce in Fannin County. Walk in there, give them $1. Okay. I'm going to head over to tonight I'm going to go over to the Fannin County Tea Party meeting. Stopped yesterday, had a nice lengthy discussion with the chairman up there, Lane Bishop. I like Lane Bishop. He's a good guy. He's also the chairman of the Fannin County Tax Assessor. Fannin County Tax Assessor Board there. But anyhow, the Speaker of the House, I understand David Ralston will be the guest tonight. So I'm going to go up there and hear what they have to say. Where was I at? Now, look, I told you that we're moving the show to be interactive, okay? Put everything up there, Sam. 7:06, let's go over this. We're putting in a lot of time into this because the show is changing, okay? Want to welcome Rose this morning. She will be on all of the social media sites from Twitter. She will be from Twitter to all of our Facebook pages, our YouTube channel. And she has the show phone. The show phone is over there. Many of you have said in the past, I sent you a message on Facebook. Why didn't you read my message? I can't do, I can't even keep up with my glasses, let alone keep up 2 or 3 things happening on the show. You could text us. I want to welcome Rose. You could text us 706-889-9700, 706-889-9700. You can email me at chief@fetyournews.com. You can follow us at FetYourNews or at FYNTV. We can do live interactive conversation on our YouTube channel. If you will go to FYNTV, Fetch Your News, join our YouTube channel. Anytime we are live, you can get a notification. We are monitoring that channel, so if there's any live activity on there, we can read your comments and get that out. School is starting back. School starts tomorrow. And by the way, the very first minute I announced the show is now going interactive, you send a text message. I didn't tell you to text and agree with Sam. I did not ask you to do that. And I mean, Sam, what was the text message?
Just tell him tomorrow was more informative and clearer than a non-descriptive Friday.
Did I ask you to agree with her? I could see this show is going to become a whole lot of fun. But thank you. There's a great example. We're going to start keeping up with the text messages you send in, and we're going to be able to cover things in an immediate, because we're a Now News network. FetYourNews.com is a Now News network, and school starts tomorrow in Fannin and Gilmer. It started first of the week in Pickens County, all through North Georgia this week. So let's just say that. Watch the school buses, please. Safety first. Got our little kids out going and crossing the street, getting on a school bus. There's nothing really cuter than a kindergarten kid trying to get that first step on a school bus. I tell you, you can't beat that. So watch for safety reasons. School starting, but we'll be able to keep up with current activities, okay? What's happening, if something happens. If you find out now in North Georgia, anywhere, something's going on, text it in, hit us up on Facebook, say, hey, Rose, this is happening, get it to BKP, whatever, and we're there, okay? Tomorrow, Sycamore Crossing. Now, we have the all-star panel. We have Ask the Doc with Dr. Whaley, and Nathan Fitz, candidate for city council there, Blue Ridge City Council. Nathan Fitz will be a guest. That's a great thing. I just heard this voice. If Carla was here, she would love that, because Carla's always saying, oh, I love the thought of a voice in your head. Okay, little voice in my head says 8:30 tomorrow morning there that Nathan Fitz will be on. So that's Sycamore Crossing, downtown Blue Ridge. We love it down there on Friday morning. It's beautiful. We have Ask the Doc at 8:15. At 8:30, Nathan Fitz will be on the show. At 9 o'clock, we do the All-Star panel, where we talk about the politics of the week. You want to come and be? I really have. I pushed that, but now that we have somebody that can monitor this, if you want to be on the All-Star panel, if you'd like to be a part of our panel, we just have a whole lot of fun. Maybe you don't agree with everything we're saying. You're still welcome. I mean, it's like, you know, you can still come. I mean, I don't know how that sounds, but hey, be a part, you know, come on up, send us a text message, 706-889-9700, and say, hey, I'd like to be on the All-Star panel. We'll get in touch with you. You can also email us. So All-Star panels from 9 to 10, and then the star of the show. We wait for it all week long, the Humane Society of Blue Ridge Pet of the Week. And that's kind of where I lose Sam. I mean, Sam, the Pet of the Week shows up, you know, like 15 minutes early, and Sam's gone. I mean, I look over, and she's got her new friend there, and I can't get anything done. So anyhow, our star of the show at 8:45, Pet of the Week. Now, Ben Rhodes. Now, Sam, I sent you a video yesterday, okay? Now, the Attorney General, John Kelly, the Chief of Staff, has called the Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, and said, hey, you're staying. You're here. You're here to stay. Are you shocked? You're really shocked. You know, you want me to believe. You want me to believe this is all accident in the last 10 days. Scaramucci gets hired. The RNC gets exterminated from the White House. Priebus, what's his name, and Spicer Communications. Look, I'm not against every Republican walking and talking, okay, but they get exterminated. Scaramucci is out. John Kelly's in. Comes in, does the cleanup, you know, in military terms, you know, comes in, does cleanup, and says, I'm in charge. Scaramucci is gone. And now you got Sarah Sanders kicking the media's rear end, and Miller coming out yesterday. Chief of Staff says, hey, you're in, Jeff Sessions. Do you want me to believe that everything in the last 2 weeks, or 6 months, but the last 2 weeks is more of Trump's chaos? Oh, by the way, I want you to play. I'm not encouraging you to get drunk. I'm not. I'm really not. I'm not encouraging you to partake of adult spirits that would cause you to lose your focus and not be aware of your surroundings, all the above. But tonight, one night only, not 2 shows, no holdover, sold out event. President Donald Trump will be in Huntington, West Virginia. He'll be right on that Ohio line, right there on that Ohio River in Huntington, West Virginia. Marshall Thundering Herd, Huntington, West Virginia. Trump will be there. So the drinking game challenge of the evening is every time you hear Joe Manchin and Senator Capito, I think that's how you say her name, but especially Capito, because here's what I'm interested in tonight. I went off the rails. The train, the Blue Ridge Scenic Railroad has left the tracks. Okay, that's me. I was not going this direction, but tonight, see, Trump won West Virginia by the largest margin of any state he won. And again, I always tell you, there's only 2 states, you hear it all the time, that every county in the state went red for Donald Trump, and that's Oklahoma and West Virginia. Overwhelmingly in West Virginia, okay? I mean, Trump, I think, can go to Huntington tonight, pick the mic up and say, we need a primary challenger for Capito. She's got to go. Capito's got to go. And I think he could drop the mic and leave. I think you can do it, drop the mic and leave. And I tell you what, I think she's gone. That's what I think. I'm interested tonight. Huntington, one show only. Now, Ben Rhodes, I want you to pay attention to something, because a lot of America is not paying attention because the media is not bringing it to you, of what's going on in your House Judiciary Committee. They're not discussing it, okay? It's not being discussed. So here's what I want to do. I want you to watch this exchange. You've watched it several times, but I want you to pick up. Now, I might call for a rewind on this, Sam, but I want you to pick up on this discussion between the former FBI director, okay, and Trey Gowdy. I think I got it set at a time I wanted to start, Sam. Let's go ahead and go with that.
NSA, FBI, what other U.S. government agencies have the authority to unmask a U.S. citizen's name?
Well, I think all agencies that collect information pursuant to FISA have what are called standard minimization procedures, which are approved by the FISA court, that govern how they will treat U.S. person information. So I know the NSA does, I know the CIA does, obviously the FBI does. I don't know for sure beyond that.
How about the Department of how about Maine Justice?
I mean, Maine Justice, I think, does have standard minimization procedures.
All right, so that's 4. The NSA, FBI, CIA, Maine Justice. Does the White House have the authority to unmask a U.S. citizen's name?
I think other elements of the government that are consumers of our products can ask the collectors to unmask. The unmasking resides with those who collected the information. And so if Mike Rogers' folks collected something and they send it to me in a report and it says U.S. person number 1, and it's important for the FBI to know who that is, our request will go back to them. The White House can make similar requests of the FBI or of NSA, but they can't they don't on their own collect, and so they can't on their own unmask. I got that about right?
Yeah, that's correct.
I guess what I'm getting at, Director Comey, is you say it's vital, you say it's critical, you say it's indispensable. We both know it's a threat to the reauthorization of 702 later on this fall. And oh, by the way, it's also a felony punishable by up to 10 years. So how would you begin your investigation, assuming for the sake of argument that a U.S. citizen's name appeared in the Washington Post and the New York Times unlawfully? Where would you begin that investigation?
Well, I'm not going to talk about any particular investigation.
That's why I said in theory.
You would start by figuring out, so who are the suspects? Who touched the information that you've concluded ended up unlawfully in the newspaper, and start with that universe, and then use investigative tools and techniques to see if you can eliminate people or include people as more serious suspects.
Do you know whether Director Clapper knew the name of the U.S. citizen that appeared in the New York Times and Washington Post?
I can't say in this forum because, again, I don't want to confirm that there was classified information in the newspaper.
Would he have access to an unmasked name?
In some circumstances, sure. He was the Director of National Intelligence, but I'm not talking about the particular.
Would Director Brennon have access to an unmasked U.S. citizen's name?
In some circumstances, yes.
Would National Security Advisor Susan Rice have access to an unmasked U.S. citizen's name?
I think yes, in general, and any other national security advisor would, I think, as a matter of their ordinary course of their business.
Would former White House advisor Ben Rhodes have access to an unmasked U.S. citizen's name?
I don't know the answer to that.
Would former Attorney General Loretta Lynch have access to an unmasked U.S. citizen's name?
In general, yes, as would any Attorney General.
So that would also include acting AG Sally Yates?
Same answer.
Did you brief President Obama on, well, I'll just ask you, did you brief President Obama on any calls involving Michael Flynn?
I'm not going to get into either that particular case, that matter, or any conversations I had with the President, so I can't answer that.
Well, Director Comey, there's been some speculation this morning on motive. I'm not all that interested in motive. First of all, it's really hard to prove. Secondarily, you never have to prove it. But I get that people want to know. I get the jury always wants to know why. I think you and I can agree there are a couple of reasons that you would not have to unlawfully, feloniously.
Okay, now folks, let me just say this, okay? We didn't get to this yesterday. The media's not talking about this. There's much more breaking news out there. The news out there today is whether Donald Trump lied to a Boy Scout, okay? God forbid that a Girl Scout doesn't show up and want to sell cookies. And, I mean, you know, he could lie to a Girl Scout. I mean, this could be the news of the day. So Ben Rhodes, okay? Now, Ben Rhodes, put his picture back up, emerging as person of interest in House Intelligence Committee unmasking probe. Now, he's been moved up to a person of interest. Former Obama White House National Security Advisor Ben Rhodes is emerging as a person of interest in the House Intelligence Committee's unmasking investigation, according to a letter obtained by Circa. The letter sent from the House Intelligence Committee to the National Security Agency, NSA, on Tuesday requests the number of unmasking made by Rhodes between January 1st, 2016 and January 20th. Here's the thing, folks. Listen again. I want to go back about a minute. If I tell you, Sam, it's got to go back another 30 seconds. Listen again as Trey Gowdy asked. Now, this is back. Is there a date on that video, Sam? Because I don't have it pulled up over here. Is there a date to publish on that thing? If there is, let me know. But Trey Gowdy in this... Okay, in March 20th, 2017, we're in August. So in March 20th, 2017, Trey Gowdy, as we all know, representative from South Carolina, we all know a good attorney does not ask a question that he doesn't know the answer to. So Trey Gowdy's asking these questions knowing the answer, okay? And guess what on the other side of the microphone? James Comey, former FBI director, also knows the answers. Okay? Also knows the answers. Listen, do you really think... Well, I want to listen again, just one more time, just to pay attention of who all James Comey, former FBI director, has knowledge of can unmask a U.S. citizen. And what does that mean? We'll talk about it in a minute. So let's go back about a minute and see if that's where it's at. I might have to move you back another 20 seconds. Go back about a minute, Sam, and start it again.
In general, yes, as would any attorney general.
So that would also include acting AG Sally Yates?
Same answer. Start with that universe and then use investigative tools and techniques to see if you can eliminate people or include people as more serious suspects.
Do you know whether Director Clapper knew the name of the U.S. citizen that appeared in the New York Times and Washington Post?
I can't say in this forum because, again, I don't want to confirm that there was classified information in the newspaper.
Would he have access to an unmasked name?
In some circumstances, sure. He was the Director of National Intelligence, but I'm not talking about the particular.
Would Director Brennon have access to an unmasked U.S. citizen's name?
In some circumstances, yes.
Would National Security Advisor Susan Rice have access to an unmasked U.S. citizen's name?
I think yes, in general, and any other National Security Advisor would, I think, as a matter of their ordinary course of their business.
Would former White House Advisor Ben Rhodes have access to an unmasked U.S. citizen's name?
I don't know the answer to that.
Would former Attorney General Loretta Lynch have access to an unmasked U.S. citizen's name?
In general, yes, as would any Attorney General.
So that would also include acting AG Sally Yates?
Same answer.
Did you brief President Obama on, well, I'll just ask you, did you brief President Obama on any calls involving Michael Flynn?
I'm not going to get into either that particular case, that matter, or any conversations I had with the president, so I can't answer that.
Are you aware if Clapper had access to unmasking names of American citizens? In some cases, yes. In some cases. Brennon? Yeah, in some cases, yes. Susan Rice? Yeah, absolutely, Susan Rice. Loretta Lynch? Yeah, acting attorney general. Sally H? Yes. Ben Rhodes. Now, I know what you might be thinking out there, that I make too much of some things, but if you go through here, he hem-haws around. That's the old, that's what Dad used to say. Quit hem-hauling around, okay? He hem-haws around about everybody. You go watch this video for yourself. He hem-haws around about everybody. Yeah, in some cases they do, and he gets that look of like, well, do they? Yeah, they got it, all right? Ben Rhodes. Do you know what Ben Rhodes had? I don't know that. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know the answer to that. He did not know the answer to that. Very quickly, very decisively, and very clearly, he said, do you know Ben? I don't know the answer to that. That's it. Guess what? James Comey knew the answer to that. The committee is requesting that the NSA, okay, the letter sent from the House Intelligence Committee, the committee is requesting that the NSA deliver the information on Rhodes by August 21st. Oh my God! How can they do it? It's going to be the eclipse. I can't make this stuff up. The committee is requesting the NSA deliver the information on Rhodes by August 21st. And what else is August 21st? The Great American Eclipse. They're going to try to block out the sun. Unmasking refers, listen to this, unmasking refers to the practice of having the identity of an American caught up in surveillance of foreign target, revealing their names are hidden or masked because U.S. intelligence agencies are prohibited from spying on Americans. I don't know the answer to that. I think you do, James Comey. I think there's a good reason why you got fired, and I think it's really wrong that you took taking a multi-million-dollar book deal before we get the corruption cleaned up that you're involved in. I'm your host, BKP. I'm going to come back. We're going to talk about Uma Abedin. We're going to talk about Loretta Lynch. We got a couple things. We're going to check the Twitter deck. I haven't checked the Twitter deck today. We'll be right back after these messages. Take us to break, Sam.